welcome to Highly Questionable. Happy 73rd birthday to this guy, Papi Levitard. What do you like on the show today, Bomani?
Tim Tebow, Atlanta Brave. What an embarrassment to everybody.
Dale, Papi.
Is Jared Goff already a bust?
No, it's a little bit early for that, but it's interesting because the Rams need a face of their franchise. They traded up a lot to get him in a position to be the face of that franchise. He's not even going to dress for their first game. He's not going to be the second-string quarterback. He's not going to be the emergency quarterback. That's the punter who's going to be the emergency quarterback. He's clearly not ready for this job, and usually, Bomani, when you trade up and when you're the #1 pick, you start from the very beginning. You're not merely in uniform. They leave you out there in order for you to fail. If you're a Peyton Manning type, you're going to be out there, you're going to throw interceptions, you're going to fail. They're saying this guy's not ready to fail in front of people.
Now, in fairness, good on the Rams, at least the way that I look at it, because I don't see any reason to rush guys into start necessarily. It doesn't make Jared Goff a bust. However, if you're going to trade to do what's necessary to get the #1 pick for you to draft a quarterback, how in the world do you do that for a guy who is not ready to start over Case Keenum in Week 1? How do you do that for a guy who in Week 1 is not ready to be over Sean Mannion? Who the hell is Sean Mannion? And Jared Goff wasn't over him. He completed 22 of 49 passes in the preseason. That seems absurdly low for anybody. In fact, how many guys that are going 22 for 49 in the preseason actually make the team? He's not a bust yet.
What the hell are the Rams doing anyhow?
That's a good question.
You know, I mean,
That's an
who's
excellent
running
question.
that organization?
I mean, that's a
making
good
this kid
question,
waste his time. You know, I mean, you draft him
Right.
and then, or you trade for him and then you don't even give him a uniform to play. You know?
Well,
that's right.
The answer to what the Rams are doing is the same thing that Jeff Fisher's always doing. Going 7-9, 8-8 if you're lucky.
This time with a gin belly.
Is there really no risk in the Braves signing Tim Tebow?
So Tim Tebow and his agency put on this farce of a showcase for him to play baseball the other day. 28 teams went, by the way. The Braves were among those who went, and now we hear rumblings that maybe, just maybe, they might sign Tim Tebow. It works for Tim Tebow in part because he wants to go to an organization that owns all its farm clubs, so he's not dealing with some local yokel telling him what to do. He's only dealing with the big club. And for the Braves, I mean, is this how far you're willing to go to get people to go to that stadium that you strong-armed into an area that didn't want you in the first place and is soon going to be a traffic boondoggle? Like, is that what this is? Because even as bad as you are, you guys can't convince me that you actually think this dude's going to turn into a Major League Baseball player. You can't.
The two general managers who sat out this workout are the two smartest, considered the smartest in the game, Theo Epstein and Billy Beane. But as a sideshow, circus show, freak show that minor league has trafficked on throughout its history, there is no harm in what it is that we're talking about here. You pay him very little. Maybe he brings some freak show element that actually sells you minor league tickets. And if he's bad, all you do is let him go at very little cost. It probably gets paid for with tickets and concessions to those games. It really is no risk. It's the best kind of decision. No risk and, well, it's got no reward either, but no risk.
Quietly, the guy that's really most at risk here is Tim Tebow, because if nothing else, we have taken him seriously. Even if we didn't think he was good at football necessarily, he has been taken seriously. This is a sideshow that one would think would be a bit beneath him.
Head of Goff.
He would, right? He
right.
would. He
Look,
would.
man, L.A., man. I mean, I
would.
thought they drafted this dude to get people to come watch him play.
How should the hockey players of Team USA feel about John Tortorella's stance on the national anthem?
This is not the right way for him to do his job. His stance, for those of you who don't know, is that anyone who sits during the anthem on his team is going to sit the remainder of the game. This is partially informed, at least, by his son being an Army Ranger, serving now his second stint of duty. Now his job is to win games, not to bring politics or anything else into this. But what I do like about this, Bomani, obviously, though it's wrong for him to do this as a coach, is at least it's got his name on this. And you've got so many NFL executives in the pain business, in the power business, in the leadership business, who are killing Colin Kaepernick in print without putting their name on it. At least he's willing to stick his face and his name on something.
Now, there are two levels of this, right? John Tortorella is also the coach of the Team USA in the World Cup of Hockey. He gets to do that over there because ostensibly that is the team. Okay, got you. As the coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, why are we even pretending as though this is a majority American league? The NHL is not that. It seems really wild to be trying to force this and impose this upon other players. That being said, there's probably a more willing audience in the hockey world for this sort of force than there may be in some other places. But you really think as the rubber meets the road that Tortorella's really going to go down on this fight if he's got a really good player who looks at him and says, nah, I'm good?
Well, one of the things that's interesting here is that Team USA has one black player. Go ahead and sit that guy if he decides to sit for the game and see if he's willing to take this stance as fervently as he takes it now before actually having to take it.
That guy's good, by the way.
Tortorella, man, that guy's a
Yeah, I mean, that's another way.
his way or the highway.
He's crazy. He's a crazy person.
Yeah, that is worth noting, by the way. The coach of Team USA is a legitimate crazy person who struggles to hold down jobs.
Yeah, insane. He's insane.
Is Shaq crazy for saying he only played 30% of his real game?
That is a ridiculous number. The math is obviously wrong on that. Totally made up stat. Bubble Money, I do believe that if we talk about Shaq's career, many people would consider one of the most dominant careers we've ever seen in that sport to be an underachievement. That not just because of injuries, but because he didn't try hard all the time by his own admission. A lot of people would say to you that all his numbers, while great and dominant, that he should have overachieved beyond where Tim Duncan was, and he didn't actually.
Now, to be fair to Shaq, where he's talking about this 30% of his own game is he says he could have gone end to end every time he had gotten a rebound. In the state of Texas, he was a legend for doing that in the state championship game. 30, of course, going too far. But the quote that Shaq will have the hardest time living down, it is the on-court analog to Michael Jordan's off-court Republicans wear tennis shoes too, is I got hurt on company time and I'll heal on company time, which is the one that you can point to when you wonder what might have been if Shaq looked at these things a little bit differently. What was, though? 4 championships, a whole lot of points, and an MVP.
Can you guys put up video for us of him going coast to coast as Skinny Shaq in Orlando, please? Because I don't feel like people remember what this guy could do physically back before, he started looking like he did at the end with the Celtics.
No, the kids who see he and Charles Barkley on television don't understand. They were both incredible.
30%? That is also his body fat.
Oh, man, he's going to have beef with your whole family. He's already sick of Dan. Now he's going to come for you.
He beat me on it because I was going to go, that's his free throw percentage.
Oh, dang.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to DJ Drama.
Working with Snoop and being in his company, there's some particulars that you may have to intake when you work with Snoop. So, he might have had me a little calmer, a little more reserved and laid back than I may normally be.
At the beach today is DJ Drama.
CAU and his single Wishing off the album Quality Street Music 2 is out now. Let's talk to him.
What was your life in Philly like growing up?
It was great. My mom lived in Germantown, Philadelphia. My dad lived in West Philly. Actually, Bomani, my dad told me to tell you that your father and my father go back. They were involved together in the civil rights movement. My dad was in SNCC in the mid and late '60s and what have you. And so I grew up going to rallies and strikes and marches on Washington and things of that nature. And I always, both my parents had big record collections, and they did a pretty good job. School was always very important. In my early years, I was really into skateboarding, which I wasn't too great at. So I went to go see the movie Juice. And when I saw the movie Juice, and Omar Epps' character in the movie was a DJ, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
What did the financial difficulties look like as you tried to make it?
Well, there's no health insurance for a DJ on the come up. The financial differences, I remember, there was a time when I didn't have any hot water. And it was, you paying bills week to week, you know what I'm saying? And, if you don't get any gigs or any mixtapes don't sell, you got to figure it out. So it was a struggle, but I always knew that for me it was about putting more time and effort into, what I believed in and what I saw for myself, into necessarily putting all that time into working for someone else.
What are the details you remember and can give us about when your studio in Atlanta was raided?
It's coming up on 10 years in January 2017. It was the day after Martin Luther King's holiday. We were all in the studio. We had a bunch of interns from the AUC in there. My man one of our DJs had just moved his equipment into the studio, And I kind of had gotten a heads-up phone call, like, you know, the guys are on their way over to your studio. And I'm like, they're not coming. What would they be coming to our studio for? So I walked outside to move my car, and, you know, here come these black vehicles and racing down, and the cops came and pulled the M16s out and told me I was under arrest under the RICO law, you know. And for those who know, the RICO law is the big boss crime organization law that they locked Al Capone up on. So I was a little confused, and they told me we were arrested for bootlegging and racketeering, and they ransacked our studio and asked all our employees where the drugs and the guns were, and we didn't have anything but some music. And, you know, so I took the fall for hip-hop. Next day, by the time we were out, there were free drama and Cannon shirts and what have you, and it was a wild time, man. Who would have thought, after, you know, mixtape DJ? They treated me like a kingpin.
How scared were you?
I was pretty cool and calm, seeing that I had an M16 pointed at my head. I knew not to really, I didn't want to move too much. I still, to the point until they took my ID and they read my name off, I thought it was some confusion. I didn't think it was for me until they said, you know, sure, we have Tyree Simmons. We'll go, that's one of the perps. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So, you know, that day in jail was, I don't want to do anymore. That's for sure. That was the only day I ever want to do in jail.
Have you found yourself in a situation where you were awed working with someone and you were surprised at the way that you were behaving because you were in their company?
That's a good question. You know, working with Snoop and being in his company, you know, there's some particulars that you may have to intake when you work with Snoop. So, you know, he might have had me a little calmer, a little more reserved and laid back than I may normally be.
Were you reserved, or were you afraid that you were going to die? Because, like, I mean, there's a difference.
I wasn't afraid. I've had a little bit of experience before that, so I wasn't afraid of death. It wasn't a near-death situation.
Drama, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Aye. Girl, you know, aye. I've been feeling. Wake up in the late night, been dreaming about you. Girl, you know, aye. Girl, you know, aye. Don't need candles and cake. Just need your body to make sex. Birthday sex.
With your mom.
Questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is ready to unveil his birthday suit. Do you question?
No.
Give us topics and events, and if you don't stop now.
No.
Do you question if the dog knew what was going on?
Oh, this is what I like in the show, when we infuse animal coverage, animal videos. What do we have here? Oh, is it a bike race of some sort? Is that dog going to get out of there fast? What's going to happen here? What's coming this way?
Motorcycles?
Motorcycles? Oh, yeah, he feels it. Oh, no. Oh, my God!
Wow. But look at how the dog played it, though. He laid down when the car went.
Oh, thanks, military guy.
Yeah.
You're real helpful now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was an impressive reaction. But yeah, I got all the concerns about the dude that showed up in the camouflage and the helmet for what appears to simply be a race. Like, I don't know what country that is right there, but I feel like they in the newspaper somewhere, and it ain't all good.
How about that useless guy, protected by the shrubbery and his outfit, camouflage, emerges to do nothing?
Well, here's my next question. Is there another car coming, by the way? Like, how is this the only car? Because the dog just kept on running, as opposed to maybe I need to get, like, to the side of the road.
Do you question how Quinn Cook is parlaying his D-League Rookie of the Year award?
See, Quinn Cook and a long line of Duke players that you've been wondering whatever happened to that guy. He's the D-League Rookie of the Year, and he has his own basketball camp. Here we go. Oh, he's that guy.
Oh.
He's that guy.
Oh, that's not his fault, though. That's the fault of the clumsy kid.
Oh, man.
No,
Hold on.
I'm putting all this on the clumsy kid.
Look at everything he's doing against that kid.
Come on, clumsy kid.
Oh, why's he got to be clumsy?
I mean,
He'd have done the same thing to you.
okay, I'm telling you right now that kid learned an important lesson at that basketball camp. Stop playing basketball, kid.
Here's what I'm saying to Quinn Cook. If you're going to do all that, dunk on the kid, right? Don't go up there with the layup at the end trying to be nice. You just made him fall down in front of all his friends.
That kid looks like he went to James Harden defensive camp.
Oh, as if James Harden would try that hard for that long.
You knew we were going to make a James Harden joke, right?
Time to play the game that saw your girl last night. See or no?
Tell us what's on television tonight. We'll tell you whether we're intrigued or not.
On Showtime Extreme, a season with Florida State.
This could be interesting. Florida State was down big at the half in their first game. They came back and ended up winning the game by double digits. Jameis Winston at halftime was caught making a speech to the team. What did he have to say?
They already talking about the SEC. Florida State. Florida State, your brothers, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs, we ain't no puppies.
Smile, let's go,
We
man.
some dogs. Wide receivers, y'all cannot be stopped. The whole game. We got the best running back in the whole damn league. And we got a quarterback that's gonna toss that thing. O-line, wake up. Y'all been in that war. Y'all got the hardest coach on y'all. Coach Tricky getting y'all ass. I know ain't nobody from Mississippi getting y'all like Coach Tricky. Hell no. He getting my I play quarterback. Get right, wake up, man.
Florida State, Jimbo Fisher has more SEC wins than Brett Bielema. That's a true stat. I read that the other day. Bomani, are you intrigued?
He does inspirational country better than anybody. By the way, I was unaware of this Showtime Extreme network. Is there Cinemax Extreme? I wonder what kind of stuff they show on there.
Maybe Poppy can tell us. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, are we sure they have the best running back in the league?
Are we?
Oh, come on. You going to do this to Dalvin?
Oh, no. What happened? Oh,
Yeah,
Dalvin.
that did happen.
Dalvin, I don't remember. Oh, my God. I didn't see that.
I thought this was going to be a joke about Jameis calling it the league, right? But we just took one of the best players in the country and just decided to mock him because Jameis said something.
He is great. Why was he that open, by the way?
On NBC, Running Wild with Bear Grylls.
Oh, this show does some weird stuff. Last time it was on our show. I don't remember. Was it with Obama, having lunch with Obama, or
No,
drinking?
it was with Julianne Hough squeezing out feces and drinking the...
Okay, that's what I meant. Also, here's Lindsey Vonn.
So are you dating at the moment?
No, I'm not. I'm single, and it's nice to put the priority back on myself and just do what I need to do.
So how long did you go out with Tiger Woods for?
3 years.
Is it really that long?
Mm-hmm.
And was that a heartbreaker, splitting up with him?
Yeah, I mean, I loved him so much, and I still do, and it just didn't work, you know? It was too much with his competition schedule and mine, and, you know, he has 2 kids, and, you know, we're still on good terms, and we're friends, but it was really hard, you know?
Not what I was expecting. Bear getting in there. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I mean, the rest of us are tired of hearing about Tiger Woods coming back. She heard that Tiger Woods is coming back and was like, really, when? Where? Huh? You sure? Really?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But you know what he said next?
Who said next? What did they say next?
Well, he says, well, you don't have to worry about missing Tiger Woods anymore because you just drank his urine.
Gotcha.
Maybe.
Got you.
Maybe.
Yeah, he sure got us, because who would ever think that someone would say that?
On TLC, Love at First Kiss.
Oh, this guy again. Is it the same guy trying to get the same first kiss? Very uncomfortable, creepy, sort of sad. Let's see, what do we got?
He kind of got a kiss
Hello.
last week.
Hi. How's it going?
Big old teeth.
Good. How are you? Good. What's your name? I'm Roxanne. Roxanne. Nice to meet you. Me too. Can I kiss you? Mhm.
Whoa, he's gotten better.
Settling in. Ugh, can he turn the microphones off, though?
Pleasant, slurpy. We got a slurpy situation. I mean, she's about it. All right, a little more. Get a little more there. Okay, it's turning into straight cannibalization.
She's tapping out, buddy. She's tapping out.
She's moving away. He's not letting her. I mean, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's good.
It was not good. Your children are going to have giant eyebrows. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I mean, how many more times you gonna put this dude in front of me and expect me to not make fun of him? Because I'm trying to be as kind about this as I can, right? But I mean, it's only for so long that we can do this before I start telling you how I really feel.
All right, unpleasant. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. That kid has come a long way. I'm telling you, the first time I saw him, he was a nobody. He couldn't do anything. Now he's going for broke. I'm telling you, that's I think that he's using a type of technique that they used to use before. You know, how many times they pass the chewing gum around?
What is he talking about? What is this kissing game involving chewing gum?
Yeah, you pass the chewing once, and then they pass it back to you, and then you pass it again. You spend about half an hour passing the chewing gum, so it turns into a long, long kiss.
Who did this? Is this how
Apparently he did.
Is this how I
That's right, buddy.
Apparently
Is this
he
how I
did.
got here? Is this how I got here? Mom!
Your mom.
Mom!
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
God, that was so gross.
It was. It really was.
It's my birthday. I can do whatever I want to do.
Dad, don't burn yourself. Dad, don't burn
I'm
yourself.
going to burn myself.
You're going to burn your hair.
Why'd you lick your finger first?